It's Nikki Linen, and we're here today with some suggestions on how to enjoy theater, even though today all the theaters are closed. I want to suggest to us to enjoy the old Broadway. This is only going to be part one because there's so much material to go through and so many options that we have to appreciate the theater that was done live and where we got to go to a show. And we want to thank all those little theaters that live in all of the towns where people are volunteering to be part of the cast and enjoying bringing live theater to us. We salute you. We salute the Stage Door, and we salute all the small theaters. And we thank Broadway also for giving us an opportunity to have so many shows seen in New York City, which just as closed as it is here in California, thanks to this pandemic. But we will enjoy going back and seeing what stories were brought from playwrights and books onto live theater and eventually, thankfully, saved as movies so we can enjoy them again and again. But it always takes, for me, more fun to think about the people who actually made the music, made the story, and made it come to life. And so we want to start out with Jerome Kern. Jerome Kern, his life story and the music that he did, much of which was used in Broadway, will be a delight if you watch Till the Clouds Roll By, a bioepic, and it's an opportunity for you to get a flavor for all of his wonderful music. But probably the most famous of all of his Broadway shows, or where his music landed, was Showboat, the original story. And of course this was the Irene Dunn version, but when you want to have the musical with Howard Keel and Katherine Greisen, that's where you're going to get to be able to sing those ballads and enjoy Old Man River. So I hope that you will look up Showboat and start at the beginning of Old Broadway and take a trip down memory lane in order to appreciate live theater and the stories that were brought to us. And then hopefully we will be back in the theaters again soon. I always go back whenever it's playing, no matter what little theater wants to pull it off. The Music Man, such a delight, such a joy, such a piece of Americana. Meredith Willson really did capture Iowa, and so I can say that because my mom and dad lived in Iowa. And if you want to know how he made the musical, he even did a book called He Doesn't Know the Territory, which is another fun way to enjoy the story that he wrote. And of course, the original was made into a movie with Shirley Jones. As a teenager, I grew up watching her and the Partridge Family because, of course, everyone had a crush on Dave, the son, who was so cute in the lead of the Partridge Family. But this baby boy was born during the making of, or her baby boy was born during the making of The Music Man. And the fun story of Robert Preston giving her a hug and getting a kick from Dave. So please enjoy, go back and watch The Music Man. And if you get an opportunity to spend a little more time in Iowa, see the remake. Matthew Broderick is absolutely charming, and he has so much fun being the Music Man. So please, either version will bring you back to some great times and some great summer fun. Now, there were a lot of stories that then became musicals, and one of which, Ginger Rogers, of course she could sing and of course she could dance. We all know that from her and Fred Astaire. But she wanted to go on and do more serious drama stories, and so she did Roxy Hart. And it is based on a true story, and from this we know that Broadway took the story and turned it into the musical Chicago. So since we can't fly anywhere, we can't go to any theaters, not even out of New York or out of Chicago, we can at least go to Chicago and see the story of Roxy Hart. It is a little risque. If you want to say it is probably rated, I don't think it's rated R, but definitely PG-13. If you want to go back to more innocent times and you remember Annie reading the story of Little Orphan Annie, or you remember watching the comic books every Sunday, or the comic come alive every Sunday in your magazine, you would enjoy going back to the musical Little Orphan Annie. And we did get a chance to see Annie in several other movies, because after they made Annie, they made a sequel which gave us A Royal Adventure, and then they did Little Orphan Annie remake. So there's 3 ways for you to enjoy with your kids Little Orphan Annie, and explain that maybe you only saw her in 2D on the comic strip. But how cool is that today Carol Burnett, who was the awful Miss Hannigan, is even in a Facebook meme saying, Mary Poppins was January, life was wonderful, birds were singing. Miss Hannigan, the terrible gin-drinking orphanage matron, is August, because we're so sad that here we are stuck. No theater, no fun, no going out. We have to pretend. And so thank you, Carol Burnett, for making Little Orphan Annie. Carol Burnett also did some other fun stuff. We're going to get to her in a minute. Hairspray was not a musical. The original was Sonny Bono. Though he could sing, though he could dance, he was not in the musical. He was in the original story. But the original story took a wonderful musical twist, and we have our friend John Travolta playing the mother in the story. And that role is a coveted role, no matter who gets to play it in any theater, large or small. The role that John Travolta does is fabulous. So I hope you enjoy singing and going to Baltimore and traveling the U.S. by way of musical comedy. For those of you who, here she is, Carol Burnett again. For those of you who didn't know it, Once Upon a Mattress in 1959, the year I was born. In 1959, Carol Burnett made her Broadway bow, originating the role of Princess Winifred in the smash musical Once Upon a Mattress. And I would take out the, well, there she is. There's Princess Winifred in Once Upon a Mattress. Please look it up. Tracy Ullman is a joy, and I think you'll really enjoy the whole cast in Once Upon a Mattress. I didn't get to see the Broadway remake of How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying. Randall Radcliffe, who happened to be Harry Potter, the little kid has grown up, loved doing musical comedy. Who knew? So we have Mr. Radcliffe on his Broadway debut. The original the original cast of How to Succeed in Business Without Even Trying was brought to the movies thanks to our wonderful Robert Morris, who did both. And so sometimes we get an opportunity to see as close to the original Broadway production as possible when Hollywood grabs the original star and you get to see it as it was originally performed. For those of you who are wondering, did I remember? Yes, I did. Thoroughly Modern Millie, Carol Channing. Now, this wasn't her greatest role in production. Her greatest role from from Broadway, was Hello, Dolly. That was her coveted role that she did over and over and over again because she loved it so much. So Hello, Dolly with Carol Channing is one I recommend. You can also get Hello, Dolly with Barbara Streisand, the movie. Fabulous. Directed by Gene Kelly. Wonderful show. But if you want to see Carol Channing in a different role other than Hello Dolly, you can also catch her in Thoroughly Modern Millie with her friends, Mary Tyler Moore and Julie Andrews. So, if you're wondering if I forgot Julie Andrews was in The Sound of Music, no, I did remember that, and I do hope that you go back and look at The Sound of Music as one of the Rodgers and Hammerstein stories. But before you do that, I would like you to go back and look up Words and Music, the movie, because that is the story of Rodgers and Hart. And Rodgers and Hart did Broadway musicals together. Very, very fun team. They were very devoted to each other. They had a wonderful collaboration, and it was very sad when Mr. Hart passed away. And Mickey Rooney did a wonderful job playing Mr. Hart. So before there was Rodgers and Hammerstein the second, there was Rodgers and Hart, and I hope you look up Words and Music, the movie about them. Then we can swing right into Oklahoma and have lots of fun going back to the West, and to be able to see how the settling of the farmers and the cowboys must be friends. So this summer, Oklahoma, a joy. Do it again. Go visit. Okay? For those of you who are wondering about wanting to travel to the South Pacific, yes, you can. You can go there with Rodgers and Hammerstein. This show, of course, is fun. It also has some very poignant issues that in the end we see how far we've come. We see how wonderfully far we've come from World War II in the United States, and in being absolutely free country. We're just so glad that thanks to World War II's success of us winning, we can still make great stories here in the U.S. So thank you to all the service people. And if you want to see the remake of South Pacific, you can enjoy Glenn Close. So it doesn't matter which way you do it, whether you want the original Mitzi Gaynor or you'd like Glenn Close, both do a lovely job in South Pacific. For those of you who'd like to go traveling afar, you may go to see The King and I. Yes, The King and I will take you to exotic lands, as we would call them. For this, Daryl Zanuck presents Deborah Carr and Yul Brynner in his original role. Yul Brynner was the king of Broadway. He was the only man who could really pull off the King of Siam. So I want to thank Yul Brynner for all of the gifts he gave so many people of doing live performances again and again and again as the king. If you'd like to see the background story, a little bit deeper into the story of Anna and the King, you can see this version of it with I want to say Jodie Foster, yes, so that you can enjoy an opportunity to get a little bit more of the backstory of what Anna had to do while she was a teacher to the king's children. For those of you who are wondering about the best dancing on Broadway, well, it really started with Seven Brides for Seven Brothers as one of the classic choreographed performances that many people would copy and copy and copy again, because the stunts they pulled in Seven Brides for Seven Brothers were original and awesome. So if you're into choreography and you love the dance, please go back and check out Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. Thank you again to our Rodgers and Hammerstein. And if you'd like to go see Carousel, another movie with Shirley Jones, this is an opportunity for you to remember the old Barker who would call and say, "Come on, girls, come on, you want to ride on the carousel." It's a tough story because it's sad, but it's also a good story because it's redemption, and who doesn't need a little redemption in their life? Finally, for summer, and we really do need to enjoy our summer, We miss the state fair. We miss going. We miss having fun. But we can see it again. And this version, of course, going back to the Midwest, is a great one. So if you want to lament that we're stuck in lockdown and quarantine and COVID-19 pandemic, don't go anywhere, don't associate with anyone mode, get away. Have a fantasy trip back to the state fair when we could mingle, when we got all dressed up just to go out on the Midway. We didn't get dressed up just to go to the theater. Oh no, we used to get dressed up just to go to the Midway and throw darts at balloons and have a good time with our date. And yes, Dana Andrews would have been a really handsome, fun date. So, for those of you who are wondering how many more musicals do we have to go through, a lot. There are many, many more musicals, but I'll give you just a few more, and then we'll close up for today, and we'll do some more the next time we meet. So let's go with why we have a poster up of our friend Meryl Streep, who has been in musicals and dramas, and is, in fact, the woman still holding the awards for most Academy Awards, Oscars for Best Actress. And did she win one for Mamma Mia? No, but she was great. Really enjoyed Mamma Mia. And the nice thing about Mamma Mia is not only were the songs easy to sing and fun from the band ABBA, but we also, besides singing along, we can also see the sequel. Ta-da! Yes, Mamma Mia again. And the cast came back. Bless their hearts. They did it. Sometimes you don't get the original cast back, and it's just not as much fun. But for a summer row, let's go back and sing along with ABBA and the folks in Mamma Mia. That's all I'm going to share with you today. I hope you have a summer fun flashback to old Broadway and some newer Broadway. And I do hope that you think about the fact that when you do get back to the theater, you'll support the arts as soon as possible. When those theaters open up, you'll just be right there at the door, pounding and saying, let me in, let me in. I want to support the arts. I want to support the theater. I love live music, and I want to be there with you.